Hey everyone, good morning and good evening. Let's start with today's session. Let's see what exactly we are doing today. Hopefully you guys can see my screen now. Perfect. It's visible, correct guys? Anyone? Am I audible to you all?
Yes.
Thank you, Bharti. Okay, so today, let's go back to the notes. Today there are a couple of things which we'll focus on, which is important from the Linux perspective. The first is we need to understand how do we check system performance in Linux. Okay. Third, we need to understand the VI editor. Very important. You need to know how do we edit files in Linux. How do we, if I want to create a new file and edit those files, how do we work with this VI or Vim? There are other editors also, Nano and all, but these are the editors which you will find in all Linux flavors. This VI will definitely, you'll find it in all Linux flavor. Nano and all you might have to download and install additionally. Okay. Last will be seeing package manager. So package management is a very important topic from DevOps perspective, wherein you need to know how do we manage packages in Linux. Okay, so these are the three topics which we'll try to cover today. Let's see if we're able to do it. So I'm already connected to the VM. I'm into a Linux Ubuntu machine right now. So I'm already there. Now system performance is way a key. So I'm talking about performance at the OS level. I'm talking about what is the memory, how many memories we have utilized, what is the CPU load, what are the processes which is getting run, how do we kill the processes in case if you want to kill, how do you stop processes. These all are the things which you need to know from system perspective. Okay, the first thing, if you want to know which OS you're using, the command is, you can just go and look into this etc os-release folder file. This is the file which will give you an update what exactly this machine is, what is the version of machine you're using, okay, and things like this. So this is etc os release file in which you can have more information about this operating system. There is a command uname. Uname can also give you information, a bit of information, but if you with uname, if you use flags like A, it will give you more information regarding the kernel version, regarding the Ubuntu which you're using, and things like that. And there are multiple other flags with uname which you can use. If you just want to display the kernel version, then uname R. You don't have to remember anything, guys. Even I don't remember. Just go to all and you can see what all things uname can do for you. Okay, like if you want to have the kernel release, the kernel name, so and this is, you can simply have S, then you know this is Linux kernel which we're using right now. Print the processor type, if you want to have the processor type to be printed, P. This is 64-bit machine which we are using. If you want to know about the operating system, O. This is GNU Linux which we are using. If you want to know about the machine information, machine hardware, then 64. This is how uname comes very handy if you want to know more about your system. Print system information. Uname command is used for printing system information. Okay. There is a command called free m. this will give you a very good table looking structure about your memory. Okay, so this is the total memory, this is the used memory, this is the free memory, this is cache, and there's nothing available in swap right now, and this is the one which is available right now. This is free -m will give you, and there are many flags with free which you can use it if you want to know. See this, if you want things in bytes you can use -b. If you want in human readable, then this is, you can use -h. Human readable is nothing but it will start giving things in gigabytes and megabytes. That is what human readable does. Okay, so free is the command which help you display information regarding your memory. Now there is a command called nproc. Nproc will give you information regarding your CPU. So how many CPUs do we have in this system? It is one CPU. Okay, 3 commands we talked about: uname, printing system information; free, printing memory information; nproc, printing CPU information. There are other commands such as df, which will give you information regarding disk size, which is used, which is available. Now this is, we are not able to understand what exactly it is written, correct? So we can use -h. This will take things in human readable format. Now this is the main disk. The size is 29 GB, used 1.4 GB. This is used by my OS. Available is 28 GB. And you can also view your mounts. So this will not display network mounts, guys. So network mount, if you want to find out, then mount -l, the command, if you guys have remember, we have ran the command mount -l when we were mounting file share. Okay, now this is if you are doing any local mount, then this is if you are attaching any hard drive to this VM and you're doing a mount, this mount will be visible over here using this df command. So df command is basically giving you information about what are the disks attached, how many disks got used, what is available, and things like that. There's one more command, lsblk, which will give you more information about disk, the number of disks which is attached. So we just have one disk attached to this computer, that is as SDA, that is of 30 GB, and these are all partitions created, guys. What do you see? These are all partitions created. And there's one more disk attached, that is STB. This is for your, and there is a partition created SD1. So this is a temporary disk which is attached. Okay, so these are 2 disks which is attached to your system right now. If you attach a third disk, if you want, you can go and create one more disk and attach to this VM. Then you will see a third disk. The naming convention will be SDC. That is how the naming happens. And if you see this SDA1, 14, 15, this is all the naming convention given because this is the partitions created from SDA. These are partitions, and this is auto created. This is your boot file. This is keeping your boot file over here. Okay, and this is how you can find out. This is the mount point which is created, and you can see where exactly this is mounted. 2 command df will give you this information, what is the size, how many sizes used, and things like that. lsblk is, the full form is list block, so basically it will list all the blocks which is attached to your VM. Now there is a command called du, disk uses. Okay, as if now in this folder, suppose if you're creating any file, let's create a file, let's have something added to it also. Echo hello world, and you can give a file name as file.txt. Okay, now if you want to know the size within this folder, guys, I'm talking about within this folder, this file has used what size, then if you want to know, du is the command which will give you information regarding the file weight. Okay, you can see the file size, 4 bytes, not even 4 bytes, it's 4 bits. But if you want in human readable, you can simply use -h. That's a flag which you can use, and now you can see it's written. So within your folders, within your files, what is the size getting utilized? Excuse me. Then in that case, this is the command du, which you can use it. If you want to know more about du, simply do a and you can know estimate file space uses. There are multiple things you can use. There are multiple flags you can use with du. If you want things in bytes, if you want total size, if you want max depth. Depth is what? If you have folders and you have subfolders inside created like ABC, there are multiple subfolders, and if you want to view everything, then you can give the max depth as 10, 20, whatever the depth is. Or if you just want to view the first 2 levels, then you can define the max depth as 2. This way also you can check the file size. Okay, so these are the some very important commands from administrative perspective. If you want to know what is the CPU, what is the memory, how do I check the size, what are the list of hardware connected, all this you can view. There's one more command, ifconfig. Basically this will give you information regarding, it will give you information regarding the NIC cards, the network interface card connected to your system. This is the network interface card which is connected to your system. This is the private IP, and these are loop back. This is not a NIC card, guys, don't get confused. This is just a loop back address 127.0.01. so this will give you information regarding networking on your Linux machine. Okay, there are other commands also. If you want to just view IP, then IPRL, IPA, I think. Wait. So even I'm not sure, so what we can do, I can just do a quick IP help. See, IP version, IP statistics, IP details, IP resolve, IP human readable. Okay, this will not give me IPRAL. This is a flag. Wait, it's not IPRAL, it's ifconfig itself. Let's see this.
I think with the IP config, we can say the IP
yeah,
address.
IP stat conf. IP config works in DOS. It will not work in bash. This command will not work, but if you check on your Windows machine, this will work. IP config is for DOS machines. See, in Windows, if you want to check IPs, then IP config. In Linux, this is ifconfig. In Linux, it is ifconfig. I think someone joined. Okay, no problem. So if you want to view the IP information, your Ethernet information, this is the place wherein using this command you can see. Okay, what else command? Okay, now very important command about checking system performance information. So I agree that you will be setting up monitoring tools and things like that, but there is a possibility that you will directly jump onto your machine for checking system configuration. So the default command which you will find in many flavors of Linux, that is top command. So top is nothing but it's a utility. It's commonly used tool for displaying system performance information. Okay, so it will show administrator which process are consuming processes and memory. So this command comes very handy, guys, and this is how the output will look like. Now let's understand this output. Let me just take a screenshot of this first. Let's understand this first and open this into Paint to understand each and everything. Okay, now the first thing is, you can see there are categories. You got top category, what color do I use? White. Top category, task, CPU, memory, swap, your IDs, the user who is logged in, and all the services, the processes which is running right now. So the top, at the top, what you see, this is displaying your uptime, your system uptime. Okay, at the top first line, what you see, it's displaying your system uptime. Now your system is up since last 16 minutes and it was bought up at this point of time. So whatever time zone we have in this VM right now, based on that time zone, you're seeing this was bought up at this point of time. I don't know what time zone the VM is using right now, but if I go and look the date time, this is the time which is happening right now, 3:19:34 UTC. So UTC, that means ours is in India time. It will, if I add plus 5:30, then it will be somewhere around the same time, 8:49, which is happening right now. Okay, so based on that, it is showing you the system uptime. The numbers of users logged in is one user. If I have multiple user logged in, then I can see multiple users over here. This is very important, the load average. The load average is very important, guys. And now there are three brackets. One, this is the second one, this is the third one. This is load for the first minute. Within the minute, how many loads, what is the load right now on your system? That is what it is demonstrating. This is the load for last 5 minutes. Within the 5 minutes, what is the load on your system? This is 15 minutes. First is 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15 minutes. So you will have overall 15 minutes load over here in your top command. Now if you come to the task section, the total number of tasks currently running on your system, we got 105 tasks running right now. Not running, this is the 105 tasks which is there right now on my system. One task is currently running. So this is how many processes are handling requests. So one process is getting executed right now. 49 task is in sleep mode. Okay, so whatever task is not getting used, it goes in sleep mode. So that is the reason Linux is very efficient and it's optimized, because in the backdrop, if the task is which is not getting used, the CPU is not assigned to it and automatically it goes in sleep mode. When it goes in sleep mode, that means there is no CPU assigned to it, and whenever you need it, kernel is very smart, it will quickly go and assign CPU to it, process to it, and it will be in running mode after that. One is stopped, 0 stopped, and 0 zombie process. So this is the task information regarding your task which you see on your system. Okay, now we got the CPU. 0.3 is the percent which is getting used by the running user. The user which is logged in, this is the user CPU utilization which is showing over here. The amount of CPU spent by kernel, this SY is the percentage of time spent running the kernel. The system kernel is utilizing this CPU. This is nice. NI stands for nice values. So nice is basically the percentage of time spent running processes. So the processor which is running with manual configuration, then that comes under nice. 98.7 is ideal. So this is the ideal right now. So this is free. So this much of CPU is free. So see how optimized Linux is. By this you can understand, guys. I have only one vCPU. In that one vCPU I have my operating system running. And in that also I have all this available, 98.7. Just go and look Windows. Half of the CPU will be taken and half of the memory will be taken by Windows OS itself, just to run the OS. Okay. WA, it is waiting. If there is any process, if the CPU is already exhausted and there are processes which is waiting, then that comes under waiting category. Okay. Hardware interrupts. So if there are hardware which is connected to your VMs and there are CPU is getting used to manage those hardware, then this is the place wherein it will come in picture. SI, managing software interrupts. Hardware interrupts, software interrupts. ST, time waiting to access physical CPU. There are processes which is waiting to access your physical CPU utilization. Okay. Now this is again memory information, your total memory, your free memory. This is in bytes, guys. This is used and this is in buffer cache. If you are attaching a swap memory, then the swap memory will be visible over here. This section is very important. It will give you a clear understanding if your OS is misbehaving. Okay. If your OS is misbehaving, then this will give you a clear understanding. Now this portion is basically the processes which is running on your system and which is taking highest memory. Same like task manager in Windows. This top command is giving, see, in Windows my CPU percentage has spiked to 2216. The memory, how much memory I'm using right now. And if you go to performance, then you can see the CPU, memory, disk, Wi-Fi, GPU and everything. And you can see the processes which is running. These are the processes which is running. If you want to kill any process, I can just right click and end the task. If I end this task, this boss will get deleted. This shell will get deleted. Same goes with Linux. If you want to kill any process, if you want to kill any of this process, you can simply go and select. These are all system process, guys. I cannot kill any of this. But if you have any custom process which is running, then if you want to kill it, you can kill it. This is system D. This is the top command. There's a Python running on it. All these are system processes which we cannot kill. But why do you need to kill at the first place? If the process is misbehaving and you want to restart the process, you're not able to stop the process, then kill -9. 9 stands for, it's a signal which you're telling that I want to kill the process, followed by the PID. How do I get the PID? Either run the top command or you can use ps-ef. You will get all the list of process in your system running right now. And you can see the PIDs over here. The PID 1 you can definitely not kill. This is the first process which starts when your system is booting, followed by all the PIDs. Okay, so let me download an external service and let me show you how exactly the kill things work. There are multiple signals, guys. -9 is one of the signal which I said. If you want to list all the signal name, if you want to list all the signal numbers, then this is the command kill -s, and you can just mention the signal name and numbers you can have. If like see if I mention the number 9, it will give you what exactly it's trying to kill. The signal name is sick spec. Okay, and you need to give the kill ID. Let me give you a list. I think you should have a list over here. Yeah, these are the signals. We got around 64 signals. Each signal has some importance. Sick kill is the one which you will use to kill any PIDs if you want to kill. And if you want to know more about the signal, please go and look into the man page of kill, or look into the kill command on Google. You will find out what all this signal. So basically you will be using this kill a lot. And there's one more signal, 6, to restart, or if you want to make it on hold, if you want to continue, if you're holding any, this is the child signal. If you want to continue, if you want to top, stop, all these are signals, guys. So basically using this kill command, you'll be sending the signals to the, you will be basically managing the processes using this command. Okay, let me show you one demo. Let me install an additional file, Apache, and let me show you how exactly you can kill those PIDs. This will come very handy when you want to restart any of your service and it's not getting restarted because of some XYZ reason. So in that time it comes very handy. Okay, let's wait while this is coming up. Okay, now if you want to see the processes, if the services, if it's running or not, then you'll have to use systemctl. Systemctl will be basically giving you information regarding the services, whether it is running, whether it's restarted, whether it's stopped. All those status information will be given to you. Now if you see the systemctl, from where exactly it is loading, the folder location is given from library. And what is the name of the service? This is the name of the service, and the config. This is the name of the service, basically apache2.service.d. So D stands for daemon. This is a daemon which is running in the background. This is the place where the config will be available. The status is active. Since how long it is active, you can find out. And this is the PID 3064. Okay, if you want to kill this, you can simply use the option kill -9. You can either use -9 or you can use sick kill. Both you can use, and you just give 3064. Operation not permitted because you need to be a sudo user. Done. Now if you go and look the status, it is killed. Your status is stopped. Now if you want to restart, there is a with systemctl you can use restart. It will go and restart your Apache again. It will take time because you have went ahead and you killed the process forcefully. That's why it will take a bit of time to restart your Apache 2, or you can just do a stop start to make it more easier. Restart is basically it will go and do the stop first, and then it will go and try to start your services. Okay, makes sense? Anyone? Any questions till now? This is taking a good amount of time. Let's wait. Now let's do a stop first. We'll have to wait for this now, guys. Let me open a duplicate session. Okay, the stop is done. Now this is okay. This is done. Stop is done. Now if you see this, there is a logs in over here. Now this showing failed, there is a logs over here. So you just get top 10 lines over here. You will not get more information. Now if you want more information, there is a concept called journaling in Linux. So journaling is basically will give you more insight of all the services and the things which is running on your system. So there is a journal concept. I think this is installed by default, journalctl. With the command journalctl, you get more hold what exactly happening with your services, where your memories are getting utilized, all the logs you will get basically. Now if you come and see, this is how journalctl is displaying things right now. Kernel supported CPU, enable features and things like that, your map information. Now if you come down, you have more information. So this will basically give you everything about your things which is happening on your system right now. Journal CTL. This is all required during your interview, guys. So if you look man journal CTL, you will know more about what exactly journaling is all about. So systemd. So systemd is basically, it's a daemon which is managing all your systems, all your processes, all your services which is running in. So if you want to query systemd, then journalctl is the way to query systemd and fetch logs from there. So journalctl may be used to query contents of systemd. Journal is written by systemd journald.services. So this is bit of advanced, wherein if you want to know more about what's happening with your application, what's happening with the services and things like that, then these are the options which you need to go and use. Okay, now let's go in. So systemctl which we are running, so basically it's using systemd in the backend, and systemctl is again a tool which we are using to manage our services. So basically it is using systemd in the backend, but systemctl at the top we are using as a tool for managing our services like this. Done. Now if I go and check the status, my Apache would be running. Done. Now if you want to view what is the PID of Apache, so ps-ef, so this will display all the processes which is running on your system with the PIDs. I just want to grab Apache. Okay, so this is the PID you can find out which is running right now. Apache 2 it is, to be very specific. Now this is the PID. This was executed by none other than devopsmela user. Got it, guys? Any questions till now? There are so many commands we have gone through. Whatever commands I have explained you today, that is related to system performance. All commands are related to your system performance. Whether checking the disk, whether checking the memory, CPU, checking the system performance, whether checking the PIDs and things like that, this is all part of system performance. Okay, now the next is the VI.
I have a question before you proceed.
Tell me.
I said I have a question before you proceed.
Yeah, please tell me.
So assuming we have the memory and it has weights that are not being used. Assuming the memory is being used to like probably let's say 98.9. How do we delete some file, or how do we increase the memory just to increase the performance of the system?
Okay, so firstly, if you have any processes which is taking all your memory, for example, when you go and look into your top command and you found something that there is a process, example, there's a process, if it's a system related process, then definitely it is trying to optimize things and it's trying to, but there are some external things which you're running, like you're running some web servers and the web server is taking the entire process or memory. if you think that is a valid and that's a right call which is happening right now by seeing this top command, then you have to attach additional memory to your VM. As simple as that. Now you can talk about scaling over there. Horizontal scaling, vertical scaling and things like that you can talk about there. So this is the concept of virtual machine scale set. When there is a high CPU spike, high memory spike, then automatically a new VM will get created and it will take up the load. This is in case of something very genuine happening. Okay. But if you see there is an unnecessary Java garbage collector is unnecessary spiking your CPU and memory. That is, you will find out when you're working with Java, you will find out Java garbage collector is completely messed. It will unnecessary, sometimes you will see if it's not properly configured, unnecessarily will take up the complete CPU and complete memory. By seeing this command, top command, you can find out that Java thing is taking more space and more memory. You can simply kill that. Okay, kill that, fix the configuration, then restart the Java again. That is the way. Firstly, in case of genuine spike, go and do a scaling. You need to attach additional memories to it. You need to attach additional CPU to it. You can follow any fundamentals, whether you want to do a vertical scaling or horizontal scaling. For people who don't know what is vertical and horizontal, vertical scaling and horizontal scaling, vertical in which you got 1 vCPU and around 4 gig of memory attached to it. Now in case of vertical, we'll add more CPUs to the same VM. Like I'll make it 6 vCPU, 4 gig memory, I'll make it 16 gig memory. So that is, you are adding more resources to the same VM. That is called vertical scaling. Horizontal scaling, you will have exact replica of VM created. Like you got one VM, this VM is one VM which is already getting spiked up. Then you will have one more VM created, exact replica of it. Then your network traffic will be routed to the other VMs. So using load balancer, now network traffic will be divided. Now again there is a spike, you will have one more VM created. So 3 VMs will be created and your network traffic will be distributed across. So this is the model called horizontal scaling. Vertical, in the straight line, same machine will be added more resources. In horizontal, additional resources will be added. So keep that in mind. Okay, so that is how you will be handling memories and CPU. In memory, there is an option called swap over here. So swap is basically the concept. So this memory is very costly affair, guys. This memories are very costly affair. When you go and start buying this hardware, these are very costly. So that is the reason, in order to avoid such cost, we got swap concept. Swapping is nothing but there is a space on your drive. If you create a swap, it will create a space on your hard drive. So using space on hard drive is way cheaper than using space on memory. Okay, so when you create a swap, so it will allocate a space on your hard drive which will behave like a memory. So all your temporary process, all the process which is not that important, will be kept under swap in case of if there's a memory spike happening. So you just need to create a swap memory, need to attach it. As if now there's no swap, guys. Okay, there's nothing swap over here. So we haven't created any swap. That is something we need to go and create, swap memory. So what is the role of the swap memory? It will behave like a memory. It will behave like a RAM. It's not a RAM, it's a hard drive, but it will behave like a RAM. And if there's any process, temporary process or least important process which needs memory attention, that will be moved to swap. And your Linux kernel will try to optimize your memory uses as much it can. That smart Linux is. That is the reason I say 90% of the servers all over the world you will find it on Linux, not on Windows. Okay, all the important servers, because all this memory optimization, CPU optimization, storage optimization, all this is part of Linux DNA. Okay, keep that in mind. Hopefully that answers your question, how the things will work.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, let's go to VI editor. It's okay. Editor. Linux, how do you work with files? How do you edit files? This is very important. You will be doing a lot. So there are multiple editors in Linux: VI, Vim, Nano, etc. These are all editors, guys. These are all editors which you will. What is editor? Nothing. Your notepad. This is how we have notepad in Windows. Same way, this is a notepad for you. Now, how do I work with this notepad? That is a very important question over here. Now, if you want to edit any file, do we have any file right now? Yeah, I have a text file, file.txt. And if I want to add something to it, till now what I was doing, I'm doing echo and all, correct? This is how I was redirecting things to my file. But in reality, you'll have to, if you want to edit something, you need to make use of any of this editor. So why I'm talking about VI? VI is a default editor in all the Linux flavors. So wherever you go, whatever Linux flavor it is, whether it's CentOS, Gentoo, Ubuntu, RHEL, whichever editor you say, this you will find it. This Vim and Nano, this is something you may not find it. You may have to install it additionally. But that is the reason, because on servers, when you start working in reality, you will not have that exposure, or you will not have that benefit of downloading all this. So we'll stick with VI. Vim is nothing but it's the updated version of VI. Vim is the upgraded version of VI. Nano is a bit different as compared to others. So we'll focus on VI in this course. Now if I want to open the file, this file, in read and write mode, not just in read mode, in read and write mode, I just have to use VI followed by the file name. Now my file is open in read and write mode. Now if you see, there's a cursor blinking. Okay, so as if now you cannot add anything. If you try to type anything, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen in this. Nothing will happen in this file. And this cursor which you see, this signs which you see, this is denotation of a new line, that these are new lines. This is telling this is new line. Okay, now if you want to add something, so first you need to go in insert mode. If you want to add something to it, what you need to do, you need to go into insert mode. How do you go into insert mode? Just hit I on your keyboard. As soon as you hit I, do you see at the bottom left hand side bottom corner, now it has changed to insert mode. Now if you want to insert anything, now you can add it a new line. You can go and simply insert new changes. This is how insert works. Okay, now once you're done with it, once you're done with inserting, how do I come out from this insert mode? So you need to hit escape key at the left hand side top corner of your keyboard. There's an escape key. Just hit that escape key once. As soon as you do the escape key, if you see from the bottom, the insert mode is gone. How do I write the changes to the file? This is not written yet. So how do I save my changes? Then in order to save the changes, there's an option called, you need to use semicolon. See this. This is the semicolon. Guys, focus on left hand side down corner, all your command. This bottom line, what you see, this is your command line where your commands are going in. Use semicolon and W. W stands for writing. W stands for writing. Enter. Written. Now what do you see? Written. Now it's written. How do I close this editor now? Again semicolon, Q. Q is for quit. Semicolon Q, space, gone. Now if you view your file in using cat, do you see this lines? Hello world, added a new line, new changes, and there is an extra line also because my cursor was down. That is the reason there was an extra line over here. Okay, W is for write, Q is for quit. Okay, now let's go and open the file again. Okay, now let's add new line. Adding new line for write and save, write and quit. Okay, now this is again I have written something, and now I'm not making sure that I'm not adding any extra line over here. Okay, now I'm in insert mode. I go out of insert mode. Last time what did I show you? That you can use W to write and Q to quit. This time you can use both the combination, guys. You can use W and Q both together, which will, what it will do, it will write the changes, it will save the changes, at the same time it will close this window as well. Done. Now if you do a cat, do you see the line has been added, and there's no extra space also this time. Okay, now there's one more option. Now I went in insert mode, added something like this I've added. Okay, now whatever I've added, I thought this is incorrect. I don't want this things. Either if you're in insert mode, then you can simply go and remove it using backspace and all. But if you go in save mode, if you're not in insert mode, how will you remove this? One way is closing your file. So you will say, yeah, I'll do a semicolon Q, then it will close my file. So you're wrong. You get an error. No write since last change. So you have written something to your file. And if you're writing something to your file, you need to save it. Okay. How do I forcefully close? I don't want to save it. I want to forcefully close it. In that case, use Q followed by exclamation sign. So this will close your file forcefully, overriding all the changes whatever you made. Now if you view your file, there's no change. Make sense? These are basic commands which you will go through, and I think this is all written in my PPT. It should be there. Yeah, the flags are given over here, guys, so it's there.
Yeah, I just want to add that to quit the insert mode, you have to hit the escape button.
Correct. So when you want to quit, like I'm in insert mode right now, and if you come out of insert mode, hit escape once. You come out of this escape mode. Okay, let's go in escape mode again, and let's add something like this. I've added additional lines. Now I want to delete these lines. Now these are additional lines which I am added, and I'm not in insert mode, guys. Remember this. If you want to do anything apart from inserting, whether quit, whether writing, whether forcefully quit, anything as such, you have to come out of insert mode. Okay, now how do I delete these lines? You can simply hit DD. D stands for delta on your keyboard. 2 times, just go to the line which you want to delete and just hit DD. You shouldn't be in the insert mode firstly, keep that in mind. Just do DD, the line is deleted. Again DD, other line is deleted. See, and if I do 2 DD, 2 lines are deleted. For deletion DD, you just have to hit DD. You have to be out of insert mode. And if you want to delete 2 lines, 2 DD. If you want to delete 3 lines, 3 DD. If you want to delete 4 lines, 4dd. dd. Okay. Now this is for deleting the entire line. What if we want to delete only a word? Then the word is dw. Gone. The word added, new change, what we have added, that is gone. Changes dw. Changes is also gone. Exclamation dw. New dw. 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 Even a word, even a character, if you anything as such you want to delete, you can use dw. Now by mistakenly you have deleted and you want to undo everything, then capital U, capital U, capital U, or small u will get you this one single word. See this. This is how undo will work in VI. Okay. What else? Now if you want to find something, if you want to, let me just quit this file, changes, and let me have open some file which has more content. So I think we have Apache in it, correct? So let me go and open Apache, where www HTML index page. Okay, this is how we have opened things in VI editor, and this is all you can find out. Now if you want to find something else, now if you want something like table and all, see, it's highlighting table / and then things which, and just do next n, and it will go and look for changes, table content for you. Let's go at the top first. See, table, and it will highlight all the table word. Why this sound is coming? And you can do next and you can find out. This is cursor, it's not letting me do things. That's okay. This is how you can find out and highlight things in a text file. This is written in, this is all color coding which you're getting. This is because of, that's a Apache file, guys. Even you can have such color coding done to your content, whatever you write. Okay, what else in VI? Let me think of
How to do cut and paste or copy and paste.
Copy and paste is very simple. Very good. Copy and paste is very simple. Let's see, I opened VI editor. Now I'll come in insert mode. I come over here, and if I want to do a copy paste, I just come out of insert mode. What do I want to copy? This thing you want to copy. Let's copy this. Come over here, do a shift insert. Shift insert. Then it's copied. See, shift insert. Come out of it.
Yeah.
Save it.
Yeah, I think the P always works too. Right?
PO.
P. If you use P.
Maybe there could be something P and all.
Yeah, I mean, I used to use P when I copy, and then I use P, and then it works.
Just P.
Yes, P to paste. Yeah.
No, it's not working. It may be some other flavors. It might be working. As of
Okay.
now, I can't see that. No, there is a key for pasting things directly. So let me think of. Do we have it in PPT? Okay, so in some flavors, as if now in my key on this VM, my forward key, backward key and all these keys were working. So I was able to move around the file very easily. I was able to move around the file very easily. But when you go on actual servers, all this forward and backward is disabled, guys. Okay, so in that cases you need to use this KJHL for moving your cursor. Okay, so this is the K. Now let me show you. See the K. This is all not working right now. KJ. See, it's working. KJL. What it was? KJL. See, this L is going, J is going. So this is how also you can work with your editor. Insert mode. Insert text at the beginning of the current file. Capital I. A stands for insert text after the current cursor location. Then create a new line text entry, delete the character under the cursor, delete the character before the cursor, delete from the current cursor location, delete the line from the cursor is on. These are simple things which you can go and use it, and this will work for VI also, this will work for Vim also. Let me see, do I have Vim? If I have Vim installed already, yeah, I do have Vim also. So Vim is exactly same. The only difference is Vim will come with a bit of color coding when you use Vim with your other application files, and if there are color coding, Vim will display things in color coded. That's it. That is the only difference. It has some additional features. That's it. Okay, so that's it about from VI editor part. If anyone has any questions, please do let me know, and please make sure to use this VI editor, because most of the times, guys, you will be using this VI editor. Most of the times when you work with Linux, you'll be using this VI editor a lot. And these whatever basic things I've taught you, editing, deleting, inserting, search, all this will only work. That is the only basic things you required. Copy paste and things like you can directly copy from your notepad and paste it. Insert, shift insert works. If it's not working, then you can try using Control P, Control V also. But shift insert will work on servers as well. Like when you go to on your company's servers, shift insert will work. Control V doesn't work over there mostly. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, anyone has any question before we jump on to the next topic? Anyone? No questions, guys? This is something you need to practice. Without practice, you will not understand anything. Forget about this. Is all practical knowledge is needed. When you have practical knowledge, then only you will be able to work through all this. Okay, so if there's no question, let's move on and let's understand packages in Ubuntu and CentOS or RHEL. So what is package manager? So package management is a method of installing, updating, removing and keeping track of software updates on specific repository in the Linux system. That is what package management is all about. How do we manage packages in Windows? So we got Windows package manager, correct? So we get updates from Windows and we just kept it on auto and it automatically happens, correct? If I want to install anything, we will make use of Windows installer. Okay, now there are so many words, like in Ubuntu there is a Debian package manager, and if you're talking about RPM, that is Red Hat or CentOS package manager. RPM stands for Red Hat package manager, and this Debian is working on Ubuntu, Debian, Linux Mint. These are all the system where your packages will work on Debian. Okay, now we are currently on Ubuntu machine. So why do I use apt? Why not I can use Debian? So Debian, if you want to work with Debian package manager, you can make use of dpkg. This is a Debian package manager, and make use of all these commands. So -l will list all the packages which is installed on your system right now. Now many of you will ask why you have used apt then before for installing Apache. Why not dpkg? Can I not install my Apache using dpkg? I can do it, guys. I can surely do it. If you go and do check help, you can see how you can have packages installed using dpkg. So dpkg is basically, it's a Debian package manager, stands for Debian package manager. If you guys have worked with CentOS or Red Hat, over there also, like the way we have it dpkg over here, over there they have rpm install for I. And if you want to install any packages in rpm, like in Apache, if you want to install, then over there it is httpd. If you're working with CentOS or RHEL flavor. Okay, so rpm is the package manager in CentOS and RHEL, and dpkg is for Debian, Ubuntu, Linux Mint and all. So whichever, any Linux flavor belonging to Debian family, you will have to use dpkg. Any Linux family belongs to RHEL, CentOS or rpm, then you have to use rpm. Okay, so these are the two main source of package manager in Debian based system. So dpkg can help you install, remove and build packages. It can do everything for you. Okay, it can even, you can even go and filter out if you have any packages pre-installed. Like in my case, I have Apache installed. If you want to have dpkg -l, I can simply do a grab. I can do -i Apache. See, Apache is installed on my system, HTTP server. I can have a look on it. Okay, now what is, then why don't I use this dpkg for my installation? What exactly this apt is then? Apt in Ubuntu and yum in, I'm giving both the examples to you guys, so that in future if you're working with RHEL and everything, then you should know what is apt and what is this yum. Why exactly are we not using this, the package manager which comes pre-built with the OS itself? Why are we using this? Is a additional tool, guys. This is additional package manager tool which we are using right now. Why exactly are we using this? Anyone knows this? Why exactly are we using apt and yum, not this dpkg and rpm? What is the difference between this? Anyone wants to give a try?
I don't know what I can guess. Maybe it's kind of like a extra utility to kind of install stuff on different Linux machines.
Okay, good try. Anyone else?
I don't know. Yeah.
I think we're using apt for, I don't know if it's Ubuntu, and then you're using yum for Debian. So
Okay, well try guys. So one disadvantage, let me talk about disadvantage first. One disadvantage of using this dpkg and this rpm is they don't maintain dependency. Are not maintained. Now if you're installing Apache, for example, Apache is not Apache. Okay, Apache is already installed. I have to go and remove it first. Now if you're installing Git, let me see if I have Git installed already, because nowadays all this Ubuntu comes with Git pre-installed. I have Git. Okay, let me install nmap. I think I don't have nmap in this system. Do I have nmap? Nmap not found. Very good. Okay, so if I go and install nmap sudo dpkg-i and map. No such file cannot archive. Okay, I'm not getting the option to install. So basically using this package manager which comes by default, so you cannot, they don't maintain dependency. So whatever software you install nowadays, that software will have some kind of dependency on other libraries. Like if you're installing Git, then it will have dependency on lib file, and it will have other packages dependency. And if you're installing Git directly using dpkg, that's a Debian package manager, it will not go and install those dependencies for you. It will ask you to go and install those dependency first, then come back, then install Git. It will not manage the dependency for you, and it becomes very hectic at a time. Okay, it becomes very hectic at a time. So what these guys do, it works as a mediator in between your Linux system and in between your package manager. Which is your package manager? It's your RPM and your Debian. So yum and apt is nothing but it's a open source Linux package management application. So yum and apt is nothing but it's a tool which is responsible for managing your packages. So basically using this tool, if you're installing any packages, they will go and check the dependencies first. Post that dependency, they will install that dependencies for you, then they will go and install the packages for you. That is what they do. They will go and check the dependencies for you first. Once the dependency is fulfilled, they will go and help you install the packages. Now let me show you an example. Now let me just remove Apache for now, or Git for now, whichever package is already installed. So the command is apt remove and Apache 2. Now when I'm trying to remove, it is asking me for a permission. See, what did I say? I just want to remove Apache 2. And what all things are getting removed? Apache 2 bin, Apache 2 data, Apache 2 utils, libutil, libdbsqlite, ldap, lib, ssl cert. How many packages are getting removed right now? Just because I'm using this option. Just imagine if I use dpkg and if I try to remove all these packages, the additional packages will not get removed, and I need to go and manage those by myself. Okay, let's say no to it, and now just remove this, and I can try dpkg, that's a Debian package manager, -r, and see this. What it did? Reading database, removing Apache 2, that's it. What about others? All these dependencies, who will remove? No, that's not a work of dpkg. So these are very straightforward. They just do whatever has been asked for, and if you go and install Apache now, it will not even install the dependencies for you. It will simply go and get you the Apache, and eventually Apache will not work, because it is not going and checking the different sources, it is not checking the dependencies, it is not checking anything right now. It is simply whatever has been said, it is just going and doing that. That is the reason these package manager tools are not that user friendly. Hence, on top of it, we are using this additional tools like apt in Debian. That's the latest package manager tools which you will find it in Debian, that is apt. And in Linux, that is yum. Yum stands for yellow dog updater and modifier. Okay, now yum and dpkg benefits over rpm or debian are automatic updates. So even using this yum and apt, you can have automatic updates, easy package management and dependency management. Very important is dependency management. Okay, so that is the reason we'll use yum or apt for managing packages in your Debian or in RHEL. All these repositories, where exactly you find, from where exactly it is downloading files. Let's talk about that. And let me just remove that Apache also. -y is basically, it will go and remove everything. See, just because I have already removed Apache, it is saying no for package to be found. But do you want to auto remove? Auto remove will make sure that all the dependencies are also removed. Now it will go and remove the dependencies for me. See, it's removing the dependencies also. Now if you go and download it, again if you want to install it, just let's remove this -y flag and have this install. Now see, it is asking for permission. It will take around this much space on your disk, and secondly the following new packages will be installed. What did you say you want to install? You just want to install Apache. See what all things are getting installed, how many things are getting installed. And if you do the same thing with your Debian package manager, it will not install all this dependency, and eventually will end up installing all this one at a time. The following and additional package will be installed. It is telling you clearly what additional package. So these are dependencies. If you want to run your Apache server, you need SSL cert, you need these libraries. Without these libraries you cannot work with Apache. As simple as that. Now if you say yes, now, and this progress bar, what you see guys, this is available in apt. You will not find this progress bar and all this good looking progress bar and all this extraction happening in dpkg. dpkg will not even tell you what's happening in the background. It will go and download that things for you. You'll not even come to know. If something is getting stuck somewhere, you'll not even come to know. Hence we use this third-party tools such as apt and yum for package management. Remember, whenever I was running anything on this Windows, this Linux machine, the first command which I was running is sudo apt update. This is the first command I was running. And when I was running this first command, if you guys have noticed, it is hitting this URLs. All these URLs it is hitting. What is this URLs? And where exactly these URLs are there in your system? So basically these are the location where the packages are there. These are repositories, and by running this apt app update command, I'm just updating this repositories on my local repo. I do have my local repository on my OS also. The local repository is kept somewhere over here, etc apt, and if you see, there is a repo list, source list, repo list, which you will find out. Okay, these are the source list from where the things are coming in. Now if you go and open this source list, let's open a source list, you can find out all the links. Let me open in Vim. You will understand the difference of Vim. See this color coding, this is all because of Vim. Now do you see this links? These are the places where your packages are kept. And what exactly it is using is, in the backend it is using Debian. We are not using anything different guys. Okay, we are using the Debian packages only in the backend. Okay, the only thing is apt is just a additional tool in between, a mediator in between, which is managing things for you. It is going to all the sources and downloading all the dependency, then downloading your actual package which you are looking for. Okay, this is your repo list. This is the place where things are getting downloaded from. Nothing alien, nothing from outside world it is happening. Whatever is there in your source list, automatically from there it is downloading things. That is what we are. Okay, okay. So whenever you run the command apt update, so basically it's going and checking the links which is there and it's updating the link for you. Fetched, reading package list, building dependency tree, reading state information. And if there's an upgrade, if you want to upgrade something, then there's a flag upgrade. You can give you a list of upgradable options. Update and upgrade is different. If there's any upgrade, as if now there's no upgrade. If there's any upgrade, one package can be upgraded. It's telling you that there is a one package which can be upgraded. If you want to upgrade, just run this command. That package will be upgraded. See this bionic update. There was a bionic update, and this can be upgraded. It is telling you this packages can be upgraded. Okay. Same in Linux, RHEL, Red Hat is the same location. The only difference will be in place of apt it will be yum, where you will find the source list. Okay, all other files are related files. Make sure you don't touch anything, guys. Don't delete any files from here. If you delete anything, your local repo, this is your local repository where your files are kept, from where you're fetching things, where things are getting authenticated from here. You can also create your own custom repo folder, something like this. If you want to create your own custom repo folder, even that is possible. Okay, so this is how. And if you want to know more about apt commands, what all things you can do, just simply do a help, and you see you can do install, you can do a list, you can do a search, you can do a show, you can install, you can remove, auto remove, update, upgrade, full upgrade, edit source. These are the commands using which you can go and manage your entire packages in Ubuntu machine. Sudo apt list will give you the complete list. These are the packages which is installed. Do you want to see which Python version you're working with? Which Python is pre-installed? Just do Python. Stable interface. Okay. It's not. Wait. We used wrong flag. Python spelling mistake. See this Python. There are so many Pythons, 3.7, 3.6, everything is installed. If you want to have Apache or Git, you got Git. Wherever you see Git word, all the Git word is coming in. If you want to have Apache, you can do Apache list. See this Apache. We got Prometheus Apache exporter also. There are so many things which is already pre-installed. Ubuntu is a packaged OS, so most of the basic things like Python, Git, all this are pre-installed, guys. Golang, many things are pre-installed. So this is how you will be managing your packages in Linux. So two types of packages you will come across: Debian and RPM. Debian is a Debian based package manager, mainly used in Ubuntu, Debian, Linux Mint. RPM is a Red Hat package manager. This is mainly used in RHEL, that's Red Hat Enterprise Linux, CentOS, Fedora. Okay, so these are the package manager at the core. This package management are useful for installing, updating and removing packages on your system, but all alone they can't do anything. So you need to have a package manager toolkit on top of it. So the responsibility of the toolkit is to manage your packages efficiently, have a good GUI. Whenever you are installing or removing packages, have a good GUI. The important role what they perform is dependency management. That is the important role what they provide. So they don't have their own source. It's just a tool which is working as a mediator between your OS kernel and your repo. So whatever command you run through apt, it goes to the package manager, the core package manager, that's Debian. From there it reads the repo list, it downloads the files for you, and make sure the dependencies are also downloaded and managed. Same goes, this is I'm talking about installation. Same goes if you want to uninstall. Even through uninstall, even while removing, it will make sure that all your dependencies are also removed. Unnecessary the dependencies are not lying in your system. Okay, that is the main role of this yum and apt. There are many toolkit. You will find out apt get, you will find out snap, and you will find aptitude. These are all package manager toolkit, guys, but for in reality we'll work with these two things, yum and apt, depending upon the flavors you're working with. Okay, that's it for me. There are many things we did in Linux, guys. Make sure to practice as much you can. Now we'll start with DevOps. As if now we were just talking about cloud and we were talking about Linux. Now this is all gone. This is the third week we are in right now. Now we'll start with DevOps, and we'll start with core DevOps, understanding what is DevOps, what is DevOps responsibilities, what is Scrum, how do we manage work items, and then we'll start with working with Azure DevOps, creating applications, creating build pipelines, understanding Git, understanding Azure repos and things related to DevOps. Okay, and in between there are other services in Azure cloud which is pending, which we'll do while we are doing the DevOps, while we are learning the DevOps tools. Okay, so that's it for me today. So guys, I think take a gap tomorrow, you guys. It's Friday tomorrow. Take a gap, and whoever has not done or practice anything till now, you will have 3 days of time. Go and practice as much you can, because from Monday it's altogether a new topic, altogether a new tool will start. Okay, I want you guys to, because after this, when I start this new tool, the technology, there will be a technology shift in each 3 to 4 days. We'll start with Git, we'll start with Talisman, we'll start with Azure repos, we'll start with all different types of pull requests, push requests, cherry picking concept. Then we'll start with build release pipeline, we'll start with work item management. So there will be a drastic technology shift. So I'm just giving you time out in between to practice. Make sure whenever you get time, I know you guys are busy, you're already working, there are time constraint, I totally get it, but if you're spending your time attending this session, at least spare 1 hour of daily time to practice whatever we have done till now. Go through the recordings, go through the documentation, everything, whatever I'm showing, it's all documented in my PPTs. If not there, please let me know. I'll put it in the notepad, all the commands, and share it with you guys. But make sure practice. So just an FYI, I'm giving you guys a timeout for tomorrow. No sessions tomorrow. We'll meet on Monday, that is India time Monday, 8:30 AM. For EST and CST, that will still be Sunday, guys. So make sure there's no confusion. Okay, so that's it for me today. Anyone has any questions, any doubt, please do let me know before we can wind up the call. Anyone? No chat, nothing. Yeah, Baba Tunde, you have something? You have unmuted yourself.
I think we are good, and the PowerPoint really helps a lot. Yeah.
Great. So the PowerPoint is already uploaded on the drive. I purposely kept it outside so that you guys can see it and you guys can use it. Okay.
Yeah, it's really great. Yeah.
Okay, so not at all. Okay, no questions. Okay, guys, we'll go through it. If there's any confusion, any still doubt after this call, when you practice, I believe you will have doubts when you start practicing it. Keep a note of it, and whenever we meet next, make sure you ask it so that everyone can be familiar with the doubts. Okay, yeah, Kishore.
Rohit, one question. Sorry, because it's a general question. Because one I want to know one thing. Because I have code in Terraform actually to deploy, the virtual machine on Azure. In place of directly apply Terraform or we can as administrative project. I'm not asking in DevOps engineer prospect. Directly we can apply Terraform or we have to do any follow or the...
Okay, so yeah, if you know that whatever code you have written has no issues, it will work perfectly, then do a Terraform apply directly. There's no issue. There's no need of plan and all. Plan is basically how exactly you're running. You're directly running on the portal, or you're running it through Terraform CLI. How exactly you're running your Terraform scripts? Where you're running your scripts? Is it through CLI?
So that is need to be configured. I'm also new to Azure actually. That's why asking. In AWS we supposed to run directly, right? Terraform init validate and plan and will apply something. The apply will create the infrastructure, right? So same thing we'll do in Azure also.
Yes, exact same thing. Nothing different, Kishore. Nothing different. You just go to your Terraform CLI, and let me see if I have a CLI. So even for Terraform, I will be using this same shell, guys.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same way you use for every cloud. It's the same process.
Okay, I do have Terraform. So go with this Terraform commands init. This is the work. The second command will be Terraform plan, and then you can do a apply. Okay, then you can even use auto approve flag if you want to approve it automatically. But yeah, this is the workflow. Whether you do it for Azure, whether you do it for AWS, whether you do it for Google, nothing differ. This workflow remains as it is. The only thing will change the way the plugins what you're using. In AWS you'll have a AWS plugin, cloud plugin. In Azure you'll have a Azure cloud plugin. That's it, nothing different. And the configuration may change here and there. Rest everything remain as it is. If you have your Azure configuration ready, then just go through this. Make sure if you're running it from your local system, make sure to do easy login first. Okay, when you do easy login, it will add the subscription to your local system. Then you'll not have any issue running these commands. Okay,
Fine. Understood.
no problem. Okay guys, thank you very much. Let's meet on Monday and let's continue DevOps. Bye bye.